another aspect of the anti-Trump campaign, which is when he's not a fascist, it's because he's incompetent. And when he does something strong, then he's a fascist, right? This is the catch-22 for Trump. I don't have a lot of sympathy for the idea that Trump's to blame for all of this. You see this again from Chris Hayes. Chris Hayes on MSNBC, he says it's Republicans' fault because they are not pushing mask mandates. Here he was, Chris Hayes on MSNBC.
They want the last few months to not have happened, to be wiped from everyone's memories, to be some fluke, an alternate dimension that we have accidentally warped into, and now we're just going to warp back out into normalcy. And they've governed that way too, by and large, and it hasn't worked. That's why we're in the hell we are. And that is exactly what the fight about masks is about, I think. Masks are a visual reminder that everything isn't normal, that we are in the midst of a once-in-a-century pandemic. And on the whole, the Republican Party would very much like you to forget that.
Okay, hold up a second. Just hold up a second. The idea that mask mandates are the real problem here. Again, I'm going to give you the case numbers, the rising case numbers. Okay, so Florida is number one in terms of rising case numbers. They're also doing the most tests. It goes Florida, Texas, California, which is a Democratic state, Georgia, Arizona, Tennessee, Louisiana. Louisiana's a Democratic state. Okay, the states that were most hard hit at the beginning, of course, were all of the Democratic states. This idea that the mask mandate was the real key here. So then why did all the Democrat states get hit? And why is it, again, does Trump have the power to mandate that Denmark and Norway and Sweden and Finland don't wear masks? Again, the idea that they have like the clear answer to all of this is really just cover for we don't like Trump. And that's what you see from Andrew Cuomo, who's been the worst governor throughout all of this. Awful in every respect, and then makes posters to himself about how wonderful he is. Here was Andrew Cuomo basically saying that Trump is to blame for everything, including the fact that I'm garbage at my job.
Tapper should say that Trump is to blame for the virus coming to New York because that's the fact. That's what the CDC just said. If Trump's government had done its job, the virus wouldn't come here. Governors don't do global pandemics. I was trying to explain that to Mr. Tapper. State governments don't do global public health. Right. That's not in the state charter. The federal government does that. The virus didn't come here because of anything New Yorkers did. The virus came here because the federal government missed it.
Oh, the virus came here because the federal government missed it. I see. It didn't come to New York because you guys were busy talking about how everybody should go down to Chinatown for Chinese New Year. It didn't come to New York because you shipped all the old people with COVID back into the nursing homes. And Trump is just such a convenient whipping post for the Democrats that it doesn't matter that they don't have a solution for this either because no one has a solution. How about this? How about we just recognize there are no good answers here? As I say, the idea is that Trump was not a fascist on COVID-19, and therefore he abdicated his duty. And then when Trump steps in to protect the rights of citizens that are not being protected by their own mayors, then he's a fascist.